Aloha everyone and welcome to another video by me, Kay Elmer, and today I've got Philip von Holzendorf with us, and we're going to be talking about the new Leela website that we wanted to share with everybody, along with some of the new Leela quantum products. So Philip, good morning. How are you today?
Hi, Kay. Good morning. I'm looking forward to this. I'm doing fine.
Awesome. So let me just, for those of you who are new, we're going to be talking about Leela Quantum Tech, a quantum energy healing. I guess it's really hard to describe, and I don't still don't have my elevator speech on, on how to explain it to people. But this is it's all about quantum healing and just the power of feeling better. Like I guess this is right here on their website: feel better, perform better, live better. And I think that's a really good real short way of just saying, hey, this is what it's all about. So I just wanted to share with everybody. Let's see, I am looking for new website. So I'm just kind of, so this is, I just want to show you a picture, Philip. This is the Leela Quantum Healers Network. And Philip, right here in this little corner, he's the owner operator of Leela Quantum Tech. And so he gave me a call this morning and said, hey, we're having a new website. So let's talk about it. And definitely let's talk about some of those new products, which I know everyone's really excited to hear about. So where would you like to start, Philip?
Well, maybe just really at the homepage, and I just want to tell people that we've updated the design to make it look nicer. We think at least it's a lot nicer and a lot cleaner. It's easier to navigate, and we updated the whole copy also throughout the website. I mean, there are some sections where obviously there aren't uh, any real updates because it was already the way we liked it, and we thought that it's great for everyone visiting the site to understand it. But we've updated most of the copy actually, and yeah, try to make it easier for people to understand what we offer, where to find things, and to understand what it is also that you're looking at. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy the new site. It's been a lot of work, and yeah, I'm really thankful for everyone that helped with this.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I only got for those of you listening, I only have been looking at this for literally about 20 minutes, so it's all completely brand new to me as well. So yeah, this is pretty nice. It's very, very pretty. Very pretty site. So let's get started in what the new features are. So, well, for those of, I guess there's a lot of people that are brand new to our chat group and brand new to Leela. So let me, if I can just kind of just start off with just, in my mind, I'd like to just let's say, hey, what is here? In general, let's just do an overview. So right here, you've got the shop and the product section. So if anyone is interested in just going straight to like, okay, what you know what you want because you heard about it in the podcast, you can go right here and click on any one of these, um, you know, categories. Correct. So if I were to, and this
Yes.
is this is the hot one right now, the travel block, or you can just click on shop all to see what everything is. What all of the different products are. But let's say right here is one of the newer products. For those of you just interested in shopping, and you've heard about what you want, and so this is the new way of doing it, which is basically a description of the product, and a lot more information about each product individually. And then, of course, if you wanted to then jump over to the product page of where you purchase these things, you just click on, oh, that's not working yet. Okay, well, we'll give that. Oh, yeah, that's right. That doesn't work because we're in the test site. Sorry, everybody. So the shop all page is where you would go to that. By the way, yeah, we're actually
Yeah,
in
and
the
then for
test.
everyone listening, of
Yeah,
course, you will be able to go through those
yeah,
links then. But indeed, we're currently the team is currently working
right.
on transforming the site, uploading the site. So we're working on the test site currently right now,
Yeah,
Kay and I.
it'll be up in about 3.5 hours. So, okay, so then this is basically the all product page for those of you who just know what you want, and then you can go ahead and click on any one of these, get some product info, and then of course add it to the cart and go from there. So then the other thing here, I just want to do some high overview is the how it works part. Um, and this is a brand new section, I think, right? Because I didn't see this, I don't recall this on the old one where you just had research, but you didn't have, and you had examples of use. But I guess these are some new features as well. And these, and then
Yes.
testimonials. You guys are now collecting, are you collecting testimonials from direct feedback or from our Telegram chat group? Is that how with this?
Yeah, so all testimonials that you see on the website are all approved testimonials, so
Oh,
from
okay.
people that gave us their consent to also display it. And the idea here is, and I don't know if it's 100% working yet on this
Yeah.
test side, but the idea is that you have not only some examples here, but that you can really um, search hundreds of testimonials that there are per product. So this will ultimately be the case so that you can pick, let's say, the heel capsule, and you can then see all the different testimonials that we've gotten for that, which
Okay.
should be dozens. And then, yeah, the FAQ is obviously something I'm very excited about because people have been asking for a very long time. And we worked on this, and it was just a hard process, and it was hard to put it in a good format and also get the copyright. And I hope that we have, you know, um, the most important questions there answered in a good way for everyone. And we're going to be happy to keep adding to it if there's anything to add.
Okay. No, it's really helpful because as you folks in the chat know, like myself, Emma, and I think there's a couple of new folks that are helping out from Leela as well. But the number one question people I see brand new coming in is they want to know, well, has it worked for you guys? And I want to just flat out say that, I've been in the chat group since I think I was the third member of it, and people have been asking that question for the last year and a half, and the answer is, it's in the chat, but it's really nice that you're going to pull it out of the chat and put it onto a website so people don't have to scroll up and down. But these are real life folks that are just like you, that are use these products and then basically come into Telegram unsolicited and said, "Hey, this is how it's working for me." So it's great that this is a completely new section for anyone who's interested in, like, what did other people say? It's not marketing. It is just literally taking people what they've said with their permission and putting it on the site. So that's great. The fax is brand new as well. So that's great that we have that now. The about us part here is who Leila is. Of course, I was showing you the Healer Network thing. I continually always like to focus that on the Healer Network. For those of you who've only heard Philip talk on a podcast, be aware that there's a whole group of people that are behind Leila that contribute to the frequencies, contribute to the products, and it's a group of healers, very very talented, gifted people from all over the planet that have come together, and it's not just like a one man type of thing. So now this learn section I know is new as well. So could you describe that?
Yes, so there we finally have a list of the various podcasts, and yeah, you've done a great job, Kay, of showing that on your website. And we've been also always asked, so where can we find that, right? And we have these pinned posts on the Telegram group for the latest ones. But now here, there's at least a section where you can scroll through the various different podcasts that we've introduced the quantum technology or were invited to talk about frequency medicine and stuff like that. So yeah, you can find that all there, and I'm grateful we're starting to have it there.
Yeah, you're a very busy person. I've because for those of you who know that in the chat, I've actually, because this didn't exist until now, I was kind of tracking it on my blog so that if anybody was interested in wanting to listen in on other discussions that Philip had, it's on my blog as well. So now it's going to be on the website, which is awesome. So that even more information, and just if you just want to hear what's going on, because Philip, I mean, every single time you talk, there's some stuff that, we've already heard as a group, but then you're always throwing in new stuff, the newest study, the newest product, the newest findings, the newest feedback. So, I listen to every single one because I learn something every time you have a discussion with somebody, and it's just fascinating, especially it's every time. I can't even pick one out, but man, every time you talk, you're talking about, like, hey, this is what we're learning, and it's pretty amazing. So that's the learn section, and then of course contacting Leila. So is there anything you want to highlight here, just on a general overview?
Not really, just to encourage everyone to take a look, and especially some of the things that you've missed in the past. Hopefully, they are there now. Check it out, and yeah, let us know how you like it. And then maybe if you want, we could go into the new um, products even.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to go to the shop all. So this is the overall. This is like the store part of the website, and let's talk about your new products because you know there's always something new, and that's what's really cool. And so obviously the number one new cool thing is this travel block, is a travel and car block. So that's the first new thing that's popped up. It's going to be available as of today after 3 p.m. ish Central Standard Time. Hopefully, you get this video out right about the same time. And let's talk about this. This seems to be the thing that a lot of folks are asking about lately in the chat. So, how would you kind of describe this and share this with everybody?
Yeah, so I'm really happy that we finally have it available. And it's really also a product that, came to existence because people asked for it and people said, hey, do you have a smaller version? What if we travel and, also in the car and things like that? And it really took us some time to get to it. And it's a very unique product. I have it with me all the time. If I go to town or something, it's literally in my car. But if I travel now, I have it with me. I traveled to Germany, 3 weeks ago. So, and I literally had it with me all the time, and it was just awesome. I really loved it. And we designed it in a way that it looks like a small quantum block, but the power inside is exactly like the basic Infinity block. So that's very unique. So it's small, but it's very, very powerful. So that also means that the charging times, if you put a glass of water in, or a raspberry, whatever, is really the same as with the Infinity block, and not with the quantum block. That also means you wouldn't want to put pharmaceuticals in there, right? So don't make your quantum frequency medicine with this one. But at the same time, this has a very, you know, strong core. The radius, though, is smaller than the Infinity block, so that's also unique. It's about 100 to 200 meters, and the actual EMF harmonizing radius is 100 meters, which, okay, 100 meters is about, I think, 330, 340 feet for people in the US. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's actually one other important feature that I don't think is even highlighted here yet, but it has something in it programmed in that's a new development, basically, that Roman and I worked on for a few months. And the current quantum blocks and Infinity blocks don't have that feature yet. So um, what it does, it's even more harmonizing as the Infinity block and the quantum block, meaning you can put even someone in there with a picture that has not been exposed to quantum energy before, and you can leave that person in there for way longer than you could with a regular Infinity block, just because it it sort of adjusts to the exact needs of that person in that moment, meaning it won't overwhelm their nervous system at some point, or make the detox go crazy through the roof, which could happen with an Infinity block if there's a someone that's never been exposed to quantum energy and never worked with energy before, and then suddenly puts their hand in the Infinity block for 2 hours. That could be quite overwhelming for that person because it's so much of that subtle energy. And with a travel block, um, you can have your hands in there for way longer.
Okay, awesome. So I think the funniest thing though, as you're talking, I'm looking. This is your wife. This is crew, right? Sitting on a curb.
Yes.
so, so did you? This is when you guys went to Costa Rica and you guys took it with you, or she takes it everywhere, right?
I think so, and I couldn't even remember that I took that picture, but it somehow ended up on the website. I didn't even pick it, but I think it's great because it shows it in action. It shows a little bit the dimensions.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I think it's cute. I mean, it's just like this is what crew looks like when she's traveling, everybody. Just clutching her travel plug sitting on a curb in Costa Rica, waiting for a cab or something. Okay, so just sorry, sideline. Okay, so this thing, so it's a tiny
Oh,
little. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, and by the way, before I forget that, so it's $888, but for everyone that already owns a Quantum Block or Infinity Block or obviously Infinity Block package, you will get 22% off. And we've been asked before, is this now forever or is this just for the, first month? And I can't tell you that, but it's definitely going to be for the first couple months for sure. And then we'll look at it. And yeah, what you need to do is here, I actually on the live side, I think you'll be asked at some point to provide your email address, and the system will double check if you've had that before. I hope technically it'll all work like that, and there shouldn't be any issues.
Okay. All right. Good to know. And thank you for your generosity. I know these you've gone through quite a bit to get this manufactured and on the market. So thank you so much for that. As a block owner, mahalo. Okay, so this is the new product, and one of the questions that, as I was reading this in my quick 20 minutes, one of the first thoughts that I had was, it's got that new attribute. So I was wondering, like I'm a block owner right now, and you've got this new attribute. I guess is there a way, or are you planning on a way for existing block owners to be able to embed that new attribute into our blocks that we have now in the future? Because it sounds like this is a
If we
special little block and it's got something really special about it.
Yeah, so the first answer is whether the quantum blocks and infinity blocks in the future will have that feature. I don't know.
Okay.
For the current quantum block, infinity block owners, if we can add that feature, we also don't know that for certain. We're working on that, and if we can, then we will do it, and offer it and let everyone know. But at this point, that hasn't been figured out. I don't think it's actually necessary for the quantum block, to be honest. Because it also messes with the strength a little
Oh
bit.
yeah.
So
Okay.
uh, I don't really think it's necessary for the quantum block because there, I mean, you could literally be in there for a very long time in terms of those quantum consciousness levels. But with the infinity block, it would be very nice to have that. And there's maybe a possibility that through our quantum upgrade service that we will be launching, we may have the possibility to actually do a remote upgrade for those infinity blocks. It's
Okay.
just something we're not quite there yet. So I would say that will take me another 30 to 60 days to be able to definitively say yes or no.
Okay. All right. No problem. So we'll look forward to hearing about that. So basically, we've got a small travel block that's equates to an infinity block in terms of capabilities and strength, but it's smaller, so it has a smaller field. And for those of you, obviously, who are aware, we have the tutorials on blocks. So if you want to consult charging times and all the different stuff, people, pets, crystals, whatever, all the different things you could put into an infinity block applies to this tiny little block. So keep that in
Yes.
mind. That just treat it like an infinity block um, that you can carry around with you easily. So that's going to be really key. Is because we did Philip and I did a block tutorial I think back in February, and so it's got all of the charging times in there, and you can access any of that information. Just go into the chat, and we post it all the time. Okay, so I know that's going to be a big question on how to use my travel block. All right. Okay.
And one
Yeah.
other thing I want to say, because so for people sometimes it's hard to imagine how big is this really, even though you see the picture there. But so everyone knows these small water bottles, right? These, what most people would drink when they get a water bottle. And those fit perfectly inside, not with the length, of course, but with their width. And so you'll get them half in, and that's already enough actually, because you'll just leave them in, and in the water, it's charged perfectly.
Okay.
And so a little bit. So small water glasses, you can fit them in, and all that.
Okay, so if I put it on the side and I just put my cup, or like let's say a tall bottle into the travel block, just the bottom part of the bottle being in the block will charge the entire contents of the bottle. That's what you're saying. It's
Exactly.
like sticking my, and
Yes,
then the same thing goes with my hand. If I put my hand in the travel block or any block, it's going to charge my whole entire body because it's all connected, right?
that is correct. And then
Assuming your hands
um,
are connected to your.
yes, and then obviously you can put pictures in. So if you're traveling somewhere, you're on vacation, and yeah, you just want to put yourself in there, for example, and just take a picture and fold it a few times and put it in. So that's all still possible.
So she's holding it like this, and she's basically charging herself without thinking about it, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, hey, and just to let you guys know here, I keep this. I'm sure we're gonna be adding, or you're gonna be adding this kind of information to the website. But just whatever is not on the website, I try to compensate because it takes so long to develop all the stuff and the information that needs to go on the website. So, as kind of like what I do is I just I'm an independent person but I support Leila, and so if you look on my blog, you'll find the charts that I was talking about, or the tables on the charging times between the Q block and the I block. So links to this are always going to be in the chat. Just ask for them, so you'll be able to see that and then and go from there in terms of like how to use it. Okay, and then so that's that. So yeah, that's really cool. So then okay, so this is the new block. It's going to be for sale as of today. It's May 13th, 2022, and you've only got 160 in stock, and there's a incredible discount for people who already own one. So this sounds really cool. Okay, so let's talk about the other new stuff that you've got going on. That's new products that are on the site as of today. Getting a lot of questions about this one too. You've got a
Yes.
new water bottle now, I noticed. So I
Yes.
guess
So you can
yeah.
go ahead.
Well, my first question was is like I've got one of the original ones. So are you going to stop selling the original ones and just go to these ones now, or because I didn't see the original ones on the site?
Yes, we just phased out the old ones, and they're
Okay.
not available anymore. I think we still have some stock of the magenta ones. We completely ran out of the olive gold, and so we're actually thinking to ship those that we still have to Europe and keep them going there for a while, because yeah, it's just hard to manage two different inventories of shops. And so this will be the only one that's on the main shop now, and ultimately also the only one on the EU shop. It's a different bottle, but it's also the same. So it's the same in terms of the frequencies. So it remains the same, because that was, from our perspective, perfect to begin with in terms of the frequency mix, and it's an optimal mix for just humans to take in water with these frequencies and that type of energy. So we didn't see any reason to change that. The same is also that it has a double wall stainless steel in the inside. So, your tea will remain hot, your cold drink will remain cool in there. What is different is that the outside, we feel, is, we really like the design. It's very special. It's bamboo, so it's actual bamboo on the outside, and it looks really nice. And it is also a little bit smaller, so that it's 500 milliliters. Now we probably need to look on Google real quick to tell you what that is in ounce, right? I forgot about that. Um,
Oh yeah.
but so let me do that real quick.
Okay.
Um, Milliliter to ounce. Okay, so here we go. 500 milliliter is, well, 17 US fluid ounce. That's pretty much what it is. So it's a little bit smaller, but that also means it's even easier to take it to yoga or have it in your car, etc.
Okay. So it's a typical smaller water bottle because the existing one is 750 milliliters, right? Three-quarters of a liter.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not quite 750, but a little bit more than
Okay.
700. Yes.
All right. All right, so got the new water bottle. Hey, I'm sorry. I had a question that popped up in the chat, so let me just ask you right now so people can hear about it. The travel
Sure.
block, because it's the same strength as an infinity block, which for those of you who don't know the difference, is like 7 times stronger than the Q block, right? Quantum block. But one person, or actually several people have asked, is because it's like an infinity block, can you upgrade if you had two? Could you upgrade them? Like you would an infinity block. Could I take one and travel block and put it in another to put the plates in it and then upgrade my travel blocks just like I could with an infinity block? Is that possible?
No, it that would not work. Same with the quantum block. Doesn't work.
Okay. So if you're looking to uh, tinker, is how I put it, with greater and greater and greater levels of consciousness, and you want to tinker with stronger and stronger infinity or blocks in general, then the only choice is the infinity block because those can get upgraded. Every time you put one in the other, it gains strength by 7 times. But the quantum
Yes, and
block and the travel do not have that capability, right?
exactly. However, you could, if let's say you have an Infinity Block package and you're already at a, number six, for example, a sixth generation Infinity Block, then at some point, if you want to have a stronger um, travel block, you could charge this one in that Infinity Block and it'll make it stronger. We couldn't tell you then, though, exactly what the levels are that you'll come up with then,
Oh, okay.
because it's not been tested, it's not been done. But in theory,
Oh, yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah, that's good. That was actually another question too. Somebody asked if we could what would happen if you put the travel inside of an infinity block. So you literally would upgrade it, but you don't know to what level, right?
Yes.
And it also depends on what level of infinity block you've got. So it gets really complicated. But yeah, okay, so you can make it stronger, but you can't take two and make each other stronger. But if you had an infinity block, you could take it and put it in there. Oh, good to know.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, well, I think we're gonna have to update I'm thinking, we'll update our block tutorial to try to do like a comparison of the three, to kind of clarify what the differences are, like we did with the block tutorials. Okay, so then the other new thing that you've got on the site I noticed was the screws are now available, the Infinity Block screws. So,
Yes. Finally.
boy, people have been asking about that ever since our last talk. I got mine and I absolutely love it. And let me ask you a question about these. Okay, first of all, for those of you who don't know what these are, is if you look at the Infinity Block, okay, it's got 3 plates top and bottom. And the 3 plates top and bottom are connected with rods. This is what it looks like assembled. But if you want to charge bigger things, like you want to charge anything you like an air filter or anything like that, or water heater or whatever, then you need to separate the plates. But the problem is how do you keep the 3 plates together? And up till now, everyone's been using zip ties. So that's what the screws are for. So I guess a question about the screws that I've seen people asking is, A, when are they available? So they're going to be available today. And then the second thing was, once I separate the plates, this is a question that people have had. Once I separate the plates and I've got, both sides, a top and bottom, now connected to each other, but there's no rods, right? And I put them into alignment. Is there any kind of like a delay? Because I took it apart and I put it back together without rods, and I have to keep them in. The whole concept is, if you check out the block tutorial, is you need to keep the plates in alignment, right, to create that field, that consciousness field. Um, is there a delay is there like a startup warm up period where you want to wait before you try to charge anything between two separated sets of plates?
So yeah, so first of all, the alignment you want to keep for the upper 3 plates as well as for the lower 3 plates. And then you want to have just somewhat of an alignment for, those separated 3 plates then, if that makes sense. So, but that doesn't need to be like super exact because the energy finds its way. So you could
Oh,
even, um, they would still need to be facing each other, but if one is 3 inch to the left and the other one is 3 inch to the right, it'll still it'll still create that field in between. So that's the first thing. But obviously the upper three plates, the lower three plates need to stay in alignment. That's why we have those screws. And then you will continue to use those screw nuts in order to keep the separation of those three plates. Then I would I would put the plates the way you want it. Let's say you want to lay in between those plates. You put it down, and I would say, just wait a minute, just in case, and that should be totally sufficient for the field to be up and running. Now, if you just purchased the Infinity Bloc and you're putting it together for the first time, and that's how you want to get started, then I would wait for about an hour until the field is fully established. But usually we recommend to putting it together first with the rods and have it be established, and then at some point, if you want to do these other things, uh, just go about that then.
Okay, so I'm sorry, could you repeat? So when I first assembled the Infinity Bloc with the rods, how long should I let it sit before I start using it to charge stuff?
1 hour.
1 hour. Okay.
In the
Then,
beginning, we thought, it
okay.
can take up to 12 hours possibly, but our experience has been now that it usually after 1 hour, it's pretty much all there.
Okay. And then if I take the rods off and put the plates together, two sets of three, then it's like give it a minute, right? Once I get them
Yes.
into alignment with each other. Okay. And then I've seen a question recently about um, do I need to when I create the separated plates with no rods, do I need to put the three plates top and bottom exactly like they were when they were assembled? Like
No, that's not necessary.
you can mix and match top and bottom
Yes.
plates. It doesn't matter. Once you put it together, it's together. And then does it matter if it's all like the mandala facing in the in the same direction? Do they have to be all facing in the same
Does
direction?
not matter from an energy perspective. We do suggest, though, that the mandala always faces upwards just because it looks nicer that way, but that's maybe a personal preference.
Okay. Yeah, it's my I like to keep it pretty. Okay, that's what I do. And then I guess the other thing too, once you separate your plates, is there a maximum I mean, have you and Roman kind of determined what a maximum distance between the plates are before you don't have a field or, like if I wanted to do like a house or something.
Yeah, I don't know that because we didn't test the maximum levels. We just know that 4 or 5 meters is no problem. And what would that be? That's, I don't know,
15 feet
12,
roughly.
12 to 16
Yeah.
feet or
Yeah.
so should be a problem whatsoever. But again, I don't know about a house.
Okay. So definitely you could do a car front to back. Um, and then if you did, just a good question. If you did a car front to back, um, you'd have to move the plates around real slowly, right? Because it's like you want to do like 3 minutes and then 3 minutes and 3 minutes if you wanted to get
Yes.
the whole car, right?
It's a little bit
If you want
tricky,
to
yeah. So
charge.
I would just use the traveling car block for
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
for the car.
I just take a picture of the car and put it in the Q block and I'm done, right?
Oh, yeah.
I know, but I know somebody that actually built a jig, a rig, that held the plates, and they drove their car through it real slowly,
Wow.
and they kept lifting it up, and they drove it. They literally charged. They like you would put a rock in a Q block. They charged their entire car very slowly between and drove it between these plates, right?
That's
And they had
awesome.
built this thing that held the plates up because they wanted to charge their car, which is cool. I mean, that's totally cool. Okay. Okay,
Yes.
great. So these are the three new products, right?
Yes, and we
Okay.
we were going to also launch the focus card, and yeah, I've posted that in the group.
Oh
That
yeah.
was a little bit of a personal disaster because it yeah, I could not find the frequency anymore. We had worked so long on that one. Actually, it was a development of over a few months. So uh, I keep looking everywhere. It has never happened before. I don't know how this could have happened, but yeah, we will possibly have to recreate it. But At least we have all the cards already, and everything is already lasered, so it shouldn't take too long anymore. I would guess, within the next 3 weeks, we probably should have it done. But yeah, sorry for the delay on that.
Okay. All right. So right now it's the same set of frequencies. Okay, that's great. And then just before our chat, everyone, I just wanted to share with you that Philip and I were talking about how to help you decide what would be the best frequency for you. And the cards are just a representation of a frequency. That's where the frequency is embedded in a card. So I'm using the words as the same. So which frequency based on what you're looking for in your life and what you're trying to address or solve. And so if you click on any one of these, I just want to point out that you will see the description. So that's where the descriptions live. And then also too, like I was telling you earlier, one of the things that I do on my blog is I also have, or actually like what I'm trying to do is like I've got here. If you guys are interested in, I post this onto, if it, this is like basically a compilation of all of the different descriptions. So if you want to look at it at a glance, this will hopefully eventually end up on the website. But I just wanted to share with everybody who's like looking for, a frequency that for a specific thing that they might have that they want to address. And so the easy way to do it is, you can basically click on each one of these, or right now I do have a PDF that's a compilation of the descriptions. So you can kind of see all of them at a glance. So that just to help you kind of just find out, because I do see a number of people come into the chat where, they're like, I have this, what would be the best card, slash frequency. So there's two different ways to go about finding out what each one does. And so I just wanted to point that out. And then Philip too, I mean, is there anything you can add to that? Like, like for someone who's just kind of like has an issue, and they're looking for like, what's the best frequency for me? What would be your advice on try to, like match a frequency to something that somebody wants to work on?
Yeah, so obviously that is something where we can do an even better job in the future to help categorize the different frequency cards, because I understand it may be a little bit much effort to go through the list of all of these here. But as of now, I would use either your list, or if I go to the drop down menu, just open that one, and then the names of the cards actually already tell quite a lot about what it is about. Obviously, if you read DNA and Cell Protector, that's something, for you, and it has to do with the DNA in the cell. So if that already resonates with something that you're looking for, then you could go into the description of it and read through it, and then really figure out, is that the right one for me? Same with, sleep and rest and inner peace. I think those are quite self-explaining titles. And yeah, then just read through it and
Okay.
figure out if you resonate with it. So I always like to ask people to feel inside, do you resonate with this? Does this feel like the right card for you? And then usually it is the right card.
Okay. Okay. And I just clicked on this. So the four for to buy four now, that special is still running, right? According to this website.
It appears so, yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I was okay. So
Yeah.
right now, this is the one right now that's the DNA frequency, and so if you for one card it's 145, but there's been I guess, is this special going to last long? Because you can get four for $5 basically more than one, so you can get basically four for one.
Well, I
Um,
would say it's going to last at least for the next 2 weeks, and then we may um, take that down.
okay. All right. So the yeah, so the four for one special is the sale. It's going to go for another couple weeks. So is there anything else on sale? Because it's kind of like they're kind of like, is there a sales page if somebody wanted to say what's on special? I guess
We'll
there's
have in the future, we'll
oh,
have on the very top, there will be a bar
okay.
with special offers.
Okay.
Uh, that's currently not up because, yeah, I think that's the one offer here. Then the water bottle is currently reduced from 129 to $99. and that'll also be up for a while. And then yeah, there's just the offer for the travel block for the existing Q block and Infinity block owners.
Okay. All right. So, I just wanted to say because we're running short on time for today, so we're gonna just I mentioned in the chat group that we're gonna do a Q&A, and I've been collecting questions. So I think what Philip and I are gonna probably do is do that Q&A next week, and so and then we'll cover those kind of questions there. Um, and so for today, we just wanted to share the new products and the new website. Um, and of course, the link now. I notice you've actually got the links now to the actual Telegram chat group. So for anyone who's new that's never actually visited the chat group, then there's a link right now, I believe, right there. No, wait, not there. I saw a picture of a person holding a phone. I know it's in here somewhere where you can actually get to the Telegram. So that's the new website. That's the new products. I want to just thank everybody for listening in. And before I let you go, Philip, we've got just another 5 minutes before I know you got to run. But is there anything else? Okay, so because it's always exciting about what you're working on and or the or new studies that are coming out. But so as we stand as of today, the focus your mind frequency, you're expecting it to get out within 2 or 3 weeks, right? Is there anything else that you're working on that you might want to share now, or you want to save that for a future discussion?
Well, there's, as a teaser, just so you guys know what's coming, you have the latest information. So we're working on the quantum upgrade service. That's taking a lot of my time, and it's a lot of hard work. I think we'll be launching it. I think in the beginning of June with probably 20 to 30 test persons. Not because we need to test the how it works. That's already been proven, even tested in studies and all of that. That's all working. But we want the actual front end and back end to communicate, and also have 20, 30 people run through it, and have our customer service run through everything. And we'll probably even announce that in the group, because that will be a free test. So whoever wants to then participate, will have probably up to 20 or 30 free spots for a few weeks. And I don't want to say too much, but it's a very flexible offering, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty unheard of, and I'm pretty sure that people will love it. So we'll announce that, but Kay and I will probably have a video in regards to that, so we can provide more details. And then yeah, up to today, we worked very hard on the website, and there's actually two studies that I want to mention. One is actually an animal study that we already did, and that was already completed in the end of December, and I think we never published it.
Oh,
We
wow.
never published it just because there was so many other things. And I just realized last week, well, we had this study and we never published it. And I think people that have pets may be really interested in that. So we're going to try to get that done over the next, let's say, also 3 weeks. And then there is the study, the dark field microscopy study, a double blind study that was done actually by the BESA Institute in Europe for this quantum upgrade service. And it was an absolutely amazing study. We're currently still going through the translations and everything, and we hopefully also should have that up and running in 3 weeks. And then there will be an expanded study on top of that one that will happen over the next 30 to 45 days. And yes, I think those are the most important updates for now.
That's amazing. I think for those of you who may not be familiar with what Philip's describing as a service, but we're talking about using the LeelaQ quantum energy technology uh, remotely, right? And that's going to be how that service is going to be designed. So basically, it's quantum healing remotely, and that's the idea of quantum entanglement. So it's just, and you already had it all tested, and it's working, it's it's amazing. It is amazing. It still blows me away that I can use a block to help something or some animal or person from 100,000 miles away, and it actually really works. So that so those studies are going to be coming out when you launch the service, right? So people can actually read about how you're using a block, and you put someone in there, and then that person miles and miles away, you can actually test them and look at their blood. And is that kind of what that study is?
Exactly.
And
Yes,
measure
and
their,
it's
yeah.
yes, and it's mind-boggling indeed. It's so mind-boggling that the head of the Besa Institute had literally tears in his eyes when he left me the message about the results and what they just found out, because it was over a 200-kilometer distance, right? So really far away, and it was double blind, and the results were amazing, and they were significant, and they were in 100% of the cases. And it's just it's yeah, it's touching in a way, that
Yeah.
this is working, and how it's working, and so significantly. So that is indeed great. And yeah, but it was a lot of hard work, because the technology, as is, or as it was, couldn't have been used for something like that. Only just for like one person. You could do one person at a time, and you can only do it at one certain quantum consciousness level. Now, what we're doing is, now it's so flexible. Now I'm actually giving more information away than I wanted to, but we'll even have levels from 500 on the Hawkins scale up to 1,200 on the Hawkins scale. The 1,100, 1,200 will only be available for people with a significant experience. So, meaning they must have had already an Infinity Bloc or something like that, because those levels are so strong. But even the other ones are great, and there's flexibility. And yes, we will have a lot of different options that you can pick, even up to the point where if someone has a business, you can actually have that service for your business. And now I actually want to give some information away that people will love. Everyone in the chat group will love this. And we found this out through the work with the quantum upgrade development. And now we actually tested it further and figured out it actually also works if you use your Infinity Bloc of any kind. It could be an Infinity Bloc, first generation or seventh generation, doesn't matter. And also you can use the travel block for that. If you put your name in there together with your birth date, your exact birth date, then everything around your birth date will be harmonized. What does that mean? Usually, when we're born, there's a lot of traumata that are happening on an energetic level because of this birth, right? Which is traumatic in a way. It's beautiful, but it's also traumatic in a way, because there's a lot of pain involved and things like that. And yeah, we noticed that that this completely harmonizes it. So you can just test that with yourself. Leave that piece of paper in there maybe for an hour. It may already be done after 10-15 minutes already, but I would suggest at this point an hour, um, and see what it does. It definitely is. It's pretty awesome, and you can do that even for your friends also, or your family members, if they like. So this is, I think, a pretty cool thing, and you don't need anything extra for that. If you own an Infinity Block already, you can use it, and should work with the Quantum Block too, but I'm not 100% certain. That's the only one we haven't tested yet.
It's I'm just listening to you and I'm blown away. So you're saying, let me get this straight. Do I write my full birth name, like middle, first, middle, last name, and the date of my birth, and I can take that piece of paper and put it inside my Infinity or my travel block, and then the quantum energy will then, I guess, neutralize is the only word that's coming to my head, but it's basically gonna take away all the negative aspects or the negative whatever of my birth.
Yes, it
It
harmonizes your birth date. It literally
Harmonizes. That's a better word.
harmonizes your birth date. And
Wow.
but if you have a birth date, let's say April 21st, please don't write it in this way of 4/21st, or like the Germans would write it 21st, 21.4. Write it April, and then you can do 20, the 21st, but write out the month so that that is clear. So you would write April, then 21, and then comma, 1974, or whichever the birth year was. And yeah, again, together with your real full name, and that's the clear signal for that. It's
Wow.
pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to ask you, I mean, have you guys thought about like other dates? Like if I were to write my full name down on a date that I had a traumatic experience, do you think that would work for that?
It's it's a possibility indeed. It's something that we can
Wow.
test. So thanks for actually raising that question. So I would say why not? So I think it's likely even that it's possible,
Yeah,
but we haven't tested that. So
right.
let's be cautious. But yeah, it doesn't hurt trying that, and we can look into that further.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And honestly, that's the power of the Healer Network. I mean, we've got some incredibly gifted people that have talents beyond my description. And
And
these your team is doing some amazing stuff. I mean, okay, I can't say enough about it. It's just that's amazing. I'm going to try that right after I hang up with you.
And hey, Kay, there's one more thing that I actually didn't even want to raise yet because this is still probably several months out. But we've been working with someone who's been focused on trauma work, also healer, from Europe, actually Austria, and um, he has developed a pretty amazing method on how to literally um, release every traumatic experience in about half an hour. And sometimes it takes 45 minutes, sometimes it takes up to an hour. And but it's with full resolution. Like there's nothing left of that, and it's pretty amazing.
Wow.
And we've joined forces and figured out a way how to combine it with our technology in a way where it now can be done in the matter of just 2 to 3 minutes. And yeah, so there's something that we're working on that's specifically just about trauma work. And trauma, that doesn't need to be one of those super tough traumas. We have those, but we have little ones as well. We have tons of little ones
Yeah.
actually. And we like to describe it as this backpack, right? So we all have this backpack, and it gets heavier and heavier and heavier with all the kind of like quote unquote negative experiences or trauma that we go through. And as we become aware of all this and we're starting to connect more with ourselves, it's sort of our job to, you know, lighten this backpack, right? Because that's, how we can really open up more. And the more we can release of that backpack, the better we feel ultimately, right? And so it's all about releasing that backpack, and there's going to be something that we'll come up with that is specifically focused on that, and that's going to be really exciting too.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that. 'Cause some of us have more than a backpack. We have like duffel bag, roller bags, and and the old fashioned Louis Vuitton crate luggage. Okay. All right. Well, hey, you know what? I know we're out of time, and thanks for sharing that. Everybody, give it a try. Let's hear what you try it, and come into the chat and let us know what happened. But yeah, thank you so much, Philip, for your time this morning. I love the look of the new website. There's a lot more information. We got new products, so it's all great stuff. So Philip and I will arrange a time to do the Q&A and answer your questions in hopefully in a week or so, and we'll get to that next. And then in the meanwhile. Enjoy your products, enjoy some of the new stuff, and this is amazing. And give that birth date a try. I'm gonna try other dates just to see, but yeah, you got my tinker mind going now on that one. But anyway, thank you very much, Philip. Any parting words?
Well, thank you, Kay, for your time and yeah, for helping to get this out here, the information, and thanks to everyone in the group. I know I haven't been as active in the group as I would like to. So yeah, thanks to all of you, and thanks also to Kay and to Emma and everyone helping in the group. It's really joyful to see the group, and still we have great vibes in there. So that's a blessing, and I'm looking forward to the future.
All right. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
You too.
All right. Aloha.